Good morning, YouTube. Today Trixie and I are going to give you a garage update. Oh, she's here. Yeah, she doesn't want me to be out in the garage without her, so she's out here too. The only problem is she'll go bark at people out in the street if they walk by, and a lot of people like to walk around in the morning, but I'll just be careful. Anyway, stay tuned. So before I jump into my garage update slash garage tour thing video, I gotta apologize to you guys. I'm in the process of starting to edit the video, and I have the new GoPro Hero 7, which is supposed to have image stabilization built in. It does have it, but I think I probably didn't have it turned on, and I also felt like I was holding the camera very steady, and I obviously wasn't. Really bad. So the camera is just shaking. I mean, it looks like my hand is doing this, and what my hand wasn't doing that, but I wasn't holding like a stick, you know, like I think there's those stick things that you connect to your camera so it will be steady. And they even make the stuff with the gyro on it that makes it super steady. And I was just holding, well, it's right here. I was just holding the GoPro like this, and apparently that's not a good way to film. I'm a noob. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning, right? So I thought about just recording everything kind of over here in my house, you know, on my computer in my room here. Like I do a lot of my videos from my desk. But I also realized that you wouldn't be seeing the cars and stuff like that. And so the audio is still fine. The picture is bad. I apologize. If it is really frustrating that much, I understand why you might not want to watch the video, or maybe you just want to listen to the audio instead of see the picture. But I apologize. I'll do better in the future, and I wanted to get a video up, so bear with me, guys. Here it is. All right, garage update. So currently in the garage, you know, the phrase garage update, just so you know, there's kind of two ways to look at it. There's like the actual garage, you know, the physically this, and then just what cars I have or what's going on with the cars that I own. So I think it's both things. I'll talk about both things, right? So my physical garage, that's real quick and easy to talk about. It's a mess. I mean, there's our roof for my Z4M coupe. There's my workbench covered in a bunch of roof racks from my X5 I sold last year, and an amplifier from my GTR that I sold, and, you know, helmet and motorcycle jacket from my Ducati Diavol that I sold last year. I've got like pistons and rods and stuff from my Z06 I used to have. I sold that like 3 years ago. I just have been meaning to sell these on like eBay or whatever, and just haven't gotten around to it. And I have a bunch more Z06 parts in here, and you know, it's kind of a mess. And I've got more Z4M coupe parts over here, and my lift that I bought for my Z4. I've been using that a little bit, but I need to use it more. But yeah, it's just it's a mess, right? So that's the garage. Let's talk about the cars. So obviously there's the oh so sexy GT3 RS right here. My favorite of the four cars that I currently own, and then we have the Raptor out here, probably my second favorite. It's really rainy. It's down here in San Diego today. It's pretty gloomy, pretty doomy. Is that a thing to say? I don't know. It probably isn't. But anyway, I'm gonna do some videos with my Raptor when I get around to it, and some off-road adventures. I actually have some footage of off-roading already. It's so fun. And I got it wrapped recently, as you can see. I had to get a company wrap for it because it's a company car, company truck, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really have any mods on it. It just has like the truck cover in the back and something called bed rug in the truck bed, but and the shorty antenna. But it's a great truck. I've had it for over a year now, and it's fantastic. So Z4M coupe, it's probably something to talk a lot more about. Yeah, it still needs a lot of work. I mean, look at the front bumper. You can see, like, I need to paint match it, and then the front bumper is really jacked up. It needs a lot of work, and you know, I cleaned the headlights look pretty good still. I cleaned those, and I need to replace the roof, and there are still dents all over the car that I need to either source new parts or do some PDR on them, paint it, fill it, whatever you want to call it. I just did an oil change and a coolant flush yesterday, so that's good. I need to get, I think there might be a slow leak in this back right tire, so I probably need to either have that filled or get a new tire or something. But yeah, this thing's just a project, right? I mean, that's why I bought it. I got it for a good price, and it's a project car, and I haven't been touching it for about a month, mainly because I've just been too busy. November, December are the busiest months of the year for me with my work, and this January hasn't really been any slower. It's been really crazy, so it naturally gets put on the back burner. On top of that, when I bought this car, the plan was that I had this spot right here. This is my parking spot. This is my wife's parking spot. This was my parking spot. I got the lift. I was going to work on the car in here. I didn't think I was going to be getting a new sports car this fast. It just kind of all happened. So now that this is parked here, I either need to move it outside if I'm going to be working on this, and then if I think you guys know how that is. Sometimes you're working on a project on a car and you think you're going to be done in one day, and you move a car out of a spot so you can do something like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need this other part, and then it's still up on the lift, and a week later, I've got my GT3 RS sitting out in the street, which is something I don't want to do. So I still have, there's still like, I really want to get the exhaust put on. So I have the European CSL headers, which eliminate the factory catalytic converter that goes onto the factory headers. And it's a much better flowing header. It sounds a lot better. And then I have the European spec cat pipe as well. And these two things work together as a team, and they integrate with the factory exhaust to sound way better, give you more power, and you still don't get a check engine light. It's what comes on the factory car if you were to buy one in Europe. So I am really looking forward to putting those on, and I was planning on doing that in my garage with some buddies, with some beer and pizza type of thing one night, but just haven't gotten around to it. And to be honest with you guys, I kind of just am starting to think maybe I should sell it. It's been fun to drive it, but now that I have the GT3 RS, I just don't know. This thing's a big project. It was more of a project than I was expecting it to be when I bought it, and I think I've lost a little bit of interest in it. It's still an awesome car, but yeah, I did lose a little bit of interest in it. So I would honestly, it might sound stupid, I would love to sell this and maybe get an Evo project, a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. The back seats and the turbo are something I would love to have in my life right now, as a contrast to this with naturally aspirated and no back seats. So we'll see how that goes. I might make some moves. I'm not in a hurry. So we got that, and then the fourth car. Where's the fourth car? Where is it? I don't see it. Do you guys see it? I'm just kidding. The fourth car is not here at my house. It's at my office, and it is what I call the Green Dragon. The Green Dragon, oh man, the Green Dragon is the biggest nightmare car of all time. It is a 2001 Toyota Camry. It's green. It's got a lot of dents on it. It's dirty. It's thrashed. And it's a money pit is what it is. It just continues to be a problem. So I have a video about it. This is a car that I bought for very cheap. I bought it for next to nothing, you could say, with the intention of giving it to my friend who needs some help. He lost his job and had some hard times, and I've been trying to get him back on his feet, help him get back on his feet basically, and it really helps if you have he doesn't have a car right now. So if he had a car, he'd have transportation to get the job interviews and stuff like that. So that was the idea, is like, oh, I'll buy a car for cheap and help him out, and maybe when he gets back on his feet, he can pay me back for whatever I spent on it. Well, I bought the car, let's just say I bought the car for next to nothing, but it ended up needing $700 in back fees registration because the seller lied to me. They brought that down to $400 luckily. Then I had to, the seller said all it needed was a battery and a fuel pump. I did that stuff, and that was like, $150 or whatever. That didn't fix it. And sorry, my neighbor drove by and I got shy. I'm like walking around my garage with the camera in my hand, so I look like an idiot. I'm gonna walk back inside. So yeah, anyway, I spent all that money and that didn't work, and
And then next, I had a mechanic work on it, and that's a whole other thing. He wanted $1,300 for all the work he did without telling me it was gonna be that much. And I told him no, and eventually we agreed at $500, which was still way too much. And he didn't even fix everything, and I had a kind of a falling out with him because of the whole trying to overcharge me thing. Took it to another mechanic. He told me the first mechanic used bad parts, and he had to replace some of those parts because he didn't use factory parts. He used like, you know, third-party stuff, sensors and things. So I paid another $500, and that guy was really nice, and he's been trying to help me get it back on the road. And he said that there was one more thing that needed to be replaced, but since it was so cheap and easy to do, he would just have me do it, so it would save me some money, which was very nice of him. So I replaced that part, and the part was supposed to fix the EGR, exhaust gas, whatever that means. I had an EGR code getting thrown, which was a check engine light, and because of a check engine light, I couldn't pass smog. You can't have a check engine light to pass smog in California. And without passing smog, I've not finished the registration process. And without finishing the registration process, I can't legally drive it on the road, really. Well, I mean, I kind of can, but I can't really sell it either. It's just, I need to get all that stuff solved, right? So I replaced that part he told me to replace, and that didn't do it. And he said, okay, well, if it's not that part, then it's this part. So I replaced that part, same thing. He said, spray throttle body cleaner in the throttle body and get all the carbon deposits out of there. And we did that. That didn't do anything. And I did a bunch of research on my own, and I ended up buying a replacement used ECU on eBay, and I believe, fingers crossed, that I fixed the problem. But now that with the new ECU, the transmission, when I try to accelerate from a stop, it's in like third or fourth gear, so it has no power. It doesn't really get going at all. So I have to shift it into low for first gear, and then shift it into second, and then shift it into drive. But then in drive, it still doesn't feel right. I think it's in like the fifth gear. It must be in the top gear because it doesn't want to go fast at all. It's like really hard to get up to 65. I mean, we're talking, 30 seconds to 65 miles per hour. It has no power. And it wasn't like that before, but at least now the check engine light's gone. So the EGR problem's gone. So my thought is I'm going to at least keep this ECU in there, get the smog done, and then if I need to fix that problem, I will. Or if not, I'm going to give my buddy this car, and he's going to have to drive it in L and then 2 and then drive every day, which is going to be a pain in the butt for him. But it is what it is. It's a free car, right? So the Green Dragon, man, it's been an absolute nightmare. If you haven't watched my video about it, it might be worth a watch. It's just kind of a funny like car horror story. I think that's it. So I have 4 cars. I really only need 2. 3's not bad. The 4th one right now, though, the Green Dragon, I don't want it. I kind of have it by force right now because of the check engine light stuff that's been going on. So, and I didn't even say this. So now that the check engine light is gone, I've driven it over an hour without the check engine light coming back on. I'm still waiting for the catalytic converter monitors to reset themselves. I can't smog the car without the monitors being reset. And there's a bunch of information on the internet about how to reset the monitors. Some people say you have to drive up to 450 miles, which I don't have time to do that. Some people said you have to be between half a tank of gas and 3/4 tank of gas. And then if you drive around for a while, they'll reset themselves naturally. One person said you need to accelerate up to 65 miles per hour and then take your foot off the accelerator and let the car naturally slow down to 7 miles per hour by itself. And I tried doing that, and it was like, I'm going to have to go out in the middle of the night with no one around to be able to do something like that because there's too many cars around here to be able to do something like that. So do I look like I'm getting stressed out just talking about the Green Dragon? Because I probably am. I just want to get that thing out of here. I want it to be fixed. I don't know if anyone has ever played the video game Dark Souls, but the Green Dragon reminds me of that video game. It's very difficult. Anyway, I'm going to sign off here, guys. That's the update on the cars in the garage and projects that are going right now. And I did tell you guys that I was going to do like a delivery of my GT3 RS, and I still am planning on doing that, but it's been rainy all week. So I'd like to do it on a day where it's not raining outside. And I probably will do something like that with my Raptor too for you guys. So probably next week, at least expect the GT3 RS delivery video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. I've been telling everyone on every video that I'm on a really good track right now to get the required view hours to become monetized for my channel. but I'm way behind on the subscriber count. I think so I'm at like 3,200 watch hours, and I need to get 4,000, but I have to have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm only at like 60. So it's gone up. Don't get me wrong. Since I've been asking for people to press the button, it has been getting better. So thank you for everyone that's subscribed. But if you haven't done that yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. But anyway, I'm done, guys. I'll let you go. Have a good day.